We're here at the Health Optimization Summit with Dr. Travis Johnson, looking at a functional cranial release. We did this last year, actually. One session, I should have had more, but we're like about 1,500 miles apart.
Yep.
So this is the follow-up. It's a year later.
Once a year.
But basically, tell them about the process.
The functional cranial release, what it really is endonasal balloon treatments. Okay, it's a term that describes where we're going to put the balloon. Endonasal meaning in the nose. Okay, so what we're trying to do is create expansion within his sinus passage, or nasal passage more specifically. And that's actually a good distinction to get because people have sinuplasty, and that's where they put the balloon in the sinus. That's a medical procedure. You have to have surgery the hole is super small to do that. This is nasal passage, which allows us to go just within the right chamber.
Okay.
Okay, so for you, like I know you have a lot of kind of sinus stuff, at least you did last year, and maybe some sleeping stuff too, not breathing through the nose quite efficiently. This is perfect for those individuals who have, say, dysfunctional nasal breathing ability, but anything from TMJ dysfunction. It could even be like a closed palate. We were talking about compressed bones in the skull. Today our society has tons of narrow faces. Tim Gray talked about that. He had a narrow face. He did jaw exercises to build that up. This is something that can assist with that.
Gotcha.
Okay, so we're trying to release tension within the dura mater, the meninges of your whole face, brain, and spinal cord.
Awesome. Amazing. So that could really affect the way, I would think if you have those kind of nasal or sinus problems, you can get bacteria trapped in there, which could then have a long-term effect on even cognitive function.
100%. So endotoxins, right? So if you have what we call a low-grade recurring sinus infection, basically when you hit that with antibiotics, it may kill the symptom, but it doesn't actually destroy all the bacteria that might be living within the sinus cavity. So in order to assist with proper flowage or drainage of that sinus, you need to open it up. So I usually like to combo some antimicrobial, antibacterial solution after we do this to disinfect those endotoxins from affecting you. Because you may have had that too. I didn't check up on you after, but you might have had kind of like a headachy feeling, or kind of like almost like a kind of a fatiguey, kind of feeling, because of those toxins are getting released from those tissues. We're actually breaking up fascial adhesions in there, which can release some of those.
Gotcha.
Those toxins.
I got the glutastat.
So you got the glutastat. Yep.
Oh.
That helped.
That'll help. Excuse me. So flushing that with like the saline and the glutathione and all that.
Yeah, like neti pots, nasal rinses. You can get really fancy with that. You can put iodine in there, colloidal silver. You could do even methylene blue. You could do a methylene blue sinus rinse.
Wow.
I've seen Dr. John do that. So there's different ways you can do it. Glutathione is a really good antioxidant. So that's what we did last time.
Excellent. Yeah, that's what I have the glutastat. So that'll work.
Yep. And essential oils, right? So you can just breathe in some essential oils, get some peppermint, some breathe ones. So yeah, those are great solutions.
Awesome. Great. Well, let's get into it. I know it's a whole lot of fun.
Yeah, it's fun. It's fun. So let's test you. And what I'm looking for is right there. See how his eyes kind of lose focus, and they have a little bit of a glitch and a kind of like a zigzag. So I noticed it just on left or right even. Those are actually not that bad. Okay, so his is just left to right. So we're gonna muscle test him. So you're gonna have your arm out. And then I'm gonna just gently resist me pushing you down. Good. So that's what your strong feels like, Zane, okay? That's what strong should feel like. Yeah, so it's this side. So here, here, here. So you're a little weaker here. Okay, so that's kind of where we want to go.
Okay.
Okay.
In the sinus.
Yeah, so that's testing your neurology. When you have your eyes down here, it's pulling on certain nerves, the cranial nerves, and it's also pulling on that meningeal fascia to feel where's those restrictions held. And that correlates to the brain. Your eyes are your brain. It's an extension of your brain. The whites of your eyes is the meninges. That's the dura mater.
Oh.
So it is brain tissue. So that's why I'm literally looking at your brain with your eyes.
Whoa.
It's kind of cool. Okay, so now I just face this way. We're going to test. I'm going to test first instability. So we're going to look to see where his balance centers are within very specific parts of his sphenoid bone. So we're going to look at upper, middle, and see how middle is kind of unstable there. Yeah, so we're going to do middle on the left. And notice his body actually leans to the left.
Yep.
So that's kind of another thing to...
Yep.
You actually need a full adjustment as well.
Well, that's no lie.
Okay, so it's actually lower. So middle and lower. Middle on the left, lower on the right. Okay, so eyes down to the left. Big breath in. Tongue out, breathe out.
Oh,
That was great, Zane.
that wasn't as bad as the first time.
Exactly. Yeah, so he's got a lot of tightness in his upper cervicals.
Mm-hmm.
Zane, can I adjust this right here?
Yeah.
Okay. You gotta adjust his C1 on the left. It'd be a disservice if I didn't do that.
Mm.
He's definitely stronger.
Yeah, but it's definitely an area of like vulnerability.
Yeah.
Let's say.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Zane
Thank
did
you.
so good. He
Thank
did
you,
so
Jeff.
good. That second time, totally different experience.
Yeah, it was. It was a totally different experience the second time. But I mean, I'm grateful. Thank
Yeah.
you. That was amazing.